productive, and competitive. It also aims to transition our micro-establishments to the formal economy that is profitable while also complying with our labor laws and occupational safety and health standards. There are different ways or modalities to avail TAV. First is the online method. Establishments can enroll in the self-paced technical and advisory modules through our learning management system. For establishments that opted to go with online, they must accomplish the modules within 1 month from the time they registered. Second is on-site. The Dole regional, field, and provincial offices conduct on-site or face-to-face orientation for the technical and advisory services, wherein micro-establishments are invited to attend. Third is hybrid setup. Establishments can enroll in on-site sessions and attend virtual meetings or webinars using various online platforms like MS Teams, Viber, Skype, Zoom, or Google Meet.
Establishment owners carry a big responsibility to comply with labor laws, including submitting reports and providing documents like payroll records during inspections. But the manual filing process is a major challenge. They need to spend time, money, and effort to fill out forms and deliver them to the Dole office, often dealing with traffic and delays. Sometimes, there's a long wait just to confirm if the report is accurate and complete. And it's not just employers facing difficulties. Dole employees also struggle with limited manpower and the time-consuming task of reviewing and processing these reports. The time has come for change. What's required now is a more innovative, streamlined, and efficient process for handling compliance reports. One that will simplify life not just for businesses but also for Dole employees. Welcome to the Dole Online Compliance Portal, your all-in-one platform for seamless compliance submissions designed to make compliance easier and more convenient for establishment owners. Telecommuting reports? Flexible work arrangement submissions? Reporting the 13th month pay? No problem. Even work accident or illness reports and the annual establishment report on wages, everything you need is now in one convenient portal. Plus, the Dole Online Compliance Portal now includes the latest requirement for reporting movie and television shoots under Department Order 246, Series of 2024. All your compliance needs in one place, quick, secure, and hassle-free. With the Dole Online Compliance Portal, registering your establishment is a breeze. Our automatic registration system ensures you are instantly compliant with OSH Standard Rule 1020. Once submitted, your certificate of registration is immediately available for download, saving you time and effort. If your establishment has been flagged for non-compliance during labor inspection, don't worry. Required documents can be submitted quickly and conveniently. And if you're missing certain policies, like a mental health program or OSH program, we've got you covered with downloadable templates. Submit these documents directly through the portal, where Dole inspectors will review, provide feedback, and keep you on track for compliance. With admin access on the Dole Online Compliance Portal, the labor inspectors can easily review the submitted reports and documents from the establishments. If further verification is needed, they can schedule an online meeting through Google Meet, all within the portal. This streamlines compliance checks, saving time and making the process more efficient for everyone. It's a smarter, more efficient way to stay compliant and keep your business running smoothly. Welcome to a new era of compliance, simplified, fast, and effective with the Dole Online Compliance Portal.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I clear? Tech. Okay.
Good afternoon.
So, again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our webinar Wednesdays of the Department of Labor and Employment, hosted by the Bureau of Working Conditions. This is Engineer Melanie Banayos, your host for today's webinar. Last week, pinag-usapan natin ang electrical safety at naging guest natin ang isang safety advocate from the Institute of Integrated Electrical Engineers of the Philippines. Okay, so this afternoon, we'll also discuss the topic on mechanical safety. This is season 3, episode 27. So, but before that, we have to start everything with the prayer.
Aming mapagmahal na Diyos, lumalapit po kami sa inyo ngayon na may pusong puno ng pasasalamat para sa pagkakataong magtipon-tipon sa webinar na ito. Nagpapasalamat kami sa biyaya ng teknolohiya na nagbibigay daan upang kami ay makapag-ugnayan, makapag-aral at lumago kahit na magkakalayo kami. Naway gabayan ninyo po ang bawat tagapagsalita at kalahok upang kami ay makapagbahagi ng mga kaalaman ng makabuluhan at nagbibigay inspirasyon. Tulungan ninyo kaming makinig ng bukas ang isipan at puso, handang matuto mula sa bawat isa. Bigyan ninyo po kami ng kaliwanagan sa kaisipan at kahusayan sa pagpapahayag upang maging makahulugan at may positibong epekto ang aming talakayan. Dalangin namin na ang session na ito ay magtaguyod ng pagkakaunawaan, pagkakaisa, at pagbabahagi ng kaalaman na kapaki-pakinabang para sa lahat. Naway madama namin ang inyong presensya sa aming kalagitnaan na nagtutulak sa isang espiritu na pagkakaisa at respeto. Nagtitiwala po kami sa inyong banal na karunungan upang kami ay gabayan sa anumang pagsubok o hamon na maaari naming harapin sa araw na ito. Sa pagtatapos ng aming pagsasama-sama, naway bitbitin namin ang mga aral na aming natutunan ng may panibagong layunin at dedikasyon. Sa pangalan ni Jesus, kami po ay nananalangin. Amen.
Okay, so again, good afternoon to our Facebook viewers. Thank you for joining us today. At paki-heart and like naman yung ating live stream. So please hit the follow button on our Facebook page, Dole BWC 1949, to get updated on the latest announcement and to know more about labor standards and occupational safety and health standards in the workplace. Please share this live stream with your friends, family, and the colleagues, and use the hashtag Webinar Wednesdays. For questions and clarifications, please use the comment section below the screen, and our resource speaker will address them during the question and answer portion. So again, this is season 3, episode 27 of our Webinar Wednesdays. Our topic will be workplace technical safety, mechanical equipment installation, particularly on heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. Mechanical safety covers a wide subject, so we decided to focus on heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. So before we start, our resource speaker is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering at Far Eastern University in 1986, a graduate of Master in Science in Construction Management at Polytechnic University of the Philippines in 2014. Currently taking up doctorate in Engineering and Management at Polytechnic University of the Philippines, and sana makagraduate siya. He is a retired overseas Filipino worker. However, mukhang hindi pala siya retired kasi sabi nga natin, learning continues, and of course, dahil sa kanyang credentials ay he's still working. Now, he handled various projects with Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC, particularly on heating, ventilating, and air conditioning design and supervision for both onshore and offshore projects. That gives him an accomplished senior HVAC engineer, senior project manager, and resident engineer for over 30 years of experience, and with a track record of managing complex functional projects in various environments with capabilities to provide technical direction and design, build, leadership on different projects for an engineering consulting services firm. Currently, he holds his own company, the RS Alcoriza Engineering Consultancy, and at the same time, a second term in the National Board of Trustees of the Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers Incorporated as the National Secretary. Okay, so to present his topic this afternoon, please allow me and help me welcome our resource speaker this afternoon, Engineer Rodolfo Alcoriza.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So, kindly share my presentation, ma'am. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, sir. So, this is basically, we will focus on SBAC basic design requirements for residential, commercial, office building, industrial building, factory, oil and gas, substation, and etc. And we'll have some discussion about maintenance related to safety fire hazard. Next, please. Okay, so for residential, normally we are designing the requirements for a bedroom. So we are normally designing as on my rule of thumb, I usually use only 16 square meter per 16 square meter per ton. Okay, so take the area and divide it. So that's the tons of refrigeration. So basically the requirements as we are discussing is related to labor safety. We're talking about safety. So while you end up proper design of the air condition, for window type, we need to have enough space, especially at the back side of the unit, so that there will be enough intake air for the condenser in order to avoid high condensing of the window type. So this is one of the a basic design for the air conditioning. Take the area, then divide by at least by 16, depending. This is residential, so take 16. That is enough. Then you will get the capacity of the air window type. Then to get, I think as a some tip, to get normally in tons of refrigeration, 1 ton of refrigeration equals to 12,000 BTU per hour. And 1 horsepower equal to 9,000 BTU per hour. So that because in Philippines, while you're ordering the window type, you need to ask for, or they will ask for how many horsepower. So this is the basic requirements and design for the window type. Next slide, please. So another option is the split AC. So you have the indoor unit, as what we call fan coil unit, and the outdoor unit or the air conditioning unit. So the indoor or the FCU, you need to install it inside the room. So same procedure for getting the capacity, you have to use it. But this one will be separate. The unit installation will be for FCU is indoor or inside the room, and the other the condensing unit will be outside. Okay, so with that, you need to have also the refrigerant piping. So you need to have the refrigerant piping so that the charging compared to the window type is a package. Once you install, you can start and that's it. But for the split type, you need to make the piping. So after the piping, you need to do the flushing. So you need to clean the piping. Then after clean the piping, you need to vacuum so that there is no moisture inside the system. So after the vacuum, you need to start charging the refrigerant. So with this also for the condensing, especially the condensing, same procedure with the window type, the distance from the wall to the condensing backside of the condensing unit, there should be enough space. Why? If it is the space is too small, like for example, you put 30 centimeter only or 1 feet. So this is not enough. So at least minimum of 80 to 1 meter, so that there is enough intake air, so that in order to avoid the high condensing. If it is not done properly, so it will cause high condensing, meaning the condenser pressure or there will be a liquid line and the gas line. So the gas line will increase and it will cause trip the unit. So make sure that the installation is properly done. So during the engineering, you have to coordinate properly to the contractors, make a design, put the space, the proper space, and proper installation. This is also part of we can say requirement in order to avoid accidents as well. Because if this one is the backside is also high temperature. As we know, the indoor is producing cooling while the outdoor is producing hot air. Okay, so as a reminder, always make sure distance from one unit to another unit and also the distance from the backside of the condensing and to the wall should be enough. Okay, at least 800 mm or to 1 meter. And there are types of this one. There will be now inverter and non-inverter. What is the difference for inverter and non-inverter? Inverter is once they attain the temperature cooling in the room, the speed of the compressor, and as well as the condensing, now some design for inverter, even the condenser fan and other fans are speed are reduced once meet the temperature inside. And compared to the non-inverter, it will not the speed, because this one, the non-inverter, it will only automatic once it's achieved the temperature setting. Let's say you set it at 24. If you don't reach the 24, compressor are continuously running. So next slide, please. Okay, this is commercial and office building. So I think some of you already familiar with the centralized air conditioning system. So this is a chiller. So from the left, that is the centrifugal chiller or water cooled chiller, and at the right side, that is the air cooled chiller. So this one will see that this is called chilled water. There is two different type of air conditioning. The other one, which is the window type and the split type, that is direct expansion. They call it DX. While this one, the chiller, is what we call chilled water. There will be a refrigeration system within the chiller. So with that, this will call the chilled water. So meaning there will be, if you can see down of this on the left, there will be a condenser and there will be a chiller. So meaning in the in the chilled water, in the chiller side, there will be inside will be the refrigerant and outside will be the, or other way around. So, sorry, the chilled water will be in the tubes, and the refrigerant will be the surroundings or within with this chiller, okay, or cooler. And this one will once it pass the water to the refrigerant, water will decrease and meet at let's say the design temperature is 7.2 degrees C as water supply, and the return water will be 12.7. So the delta T will be 5.5, and the condenser will be coming from the cooling towers. So that is condenser. In order to change also the from because the refrigeration cycle from the compressor, it will go, it will be discharged. This one is liquid, okay? Sorry, the gas, high pressure gas, and then it will go to the condenser. Then by the use of the air, here in this scenario, by the use of water, the state of the refrigerant changes to liquid. Then once it is liquid, so it will be discharged the high pressure liquid and going to the expansion valve. And that expansion valve will throttle the refrigerant, the high pressure. Then it will go to the evaporator. The evaporator of this one will be the cooler. So this one will cool the refrigerant because by absorbing the heat, this will change it again, and after the evaporator, it will be changed it to low pressure vapor. So and then the cycle. So but this one with the chilled water will be flowing to this one from lake. Then there will be a pump. There will be a chilled water pump. The chilled water pump will be discharging and supply to the let's say FCU or handling unit, fan coil units, and then it will supply cold so that the air will supply in the room as cooling or cold. Then go back again, and then once it is go back, so this by the use of the pump, and then it will go back to the cooler. Then the same on the cooling tower. The cooling tower will supply on the cooling tower basin, and then it will drop by the use of the fans, condenser fan. But anyway, I will discuss later on the cooling tower. That is for the water cooled, and for the air cooled is like a package. So the difference there, the condenser will be changed to liquid by the use of the condenser fan. If you use here on the right, if you can see here on the right side, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 fans to change the condenser. So, but the installation again, as we are talking on the design, so the chiller should be properly coordinated and designed. The correct distance, the correct spaces from the wall to the wall to the unit. So all things will be properly coordinated and designed properly, because this one will be having a control panel also. So centrifugal chiller is a quite big capacity. There will be nowadays up to 2,000 tons of refrigeration can produce by the water cooled chiller. This one, at least the water air cooled, I think it's by up to 500 tons of refrigeration. But at the end of the day, we need to design properly the location of the space planning. That's what we call space planning. The space for location of the chillers, the space for location of the chilled water pump, the space for location of MCC panel, all things will be properly coordinated. and properly spaced, especially the distance from one unit to another unit. Okay, so okay, there will be a difference. By the way, the installation, the chiller water cooled can be installed inside the building, while the air cooled cannot be installed inside the building because there will be a condenser. This one is to change the state is by the use of the cooling tower. So that's the difference. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the air cooled and water cooled comparison. So the air cooled is lower maintenance. Why? Why it is lower maintenance? Because this one have no no cooling tower, and there is no condenser pump. So meaning the equipment for the will be less as compared to the water cool, because this one have no cooling tower, and there is no cooling tower, and there is no condenser pump. As compared to the chiller, there will be a cooling tower, and there will be a condenser pump. And then this is a package. So if you see in the air cooled is a package. Kumbaga, it is already packaged as compared to the doon sa ating marami pa siyang ibang may mga pipings, related pipings pa kapag doon sa water cool. And then better low and low ambient operation, kasi ito is compared doon sa ang kasi ang cooling tower up to 35 degrees lang ang ating kailangan para mag-function properly ang cooling tower. And then the water cooled also is greater energy efficiency. Next slide, please. So this is the cooling tower, as I mentioned. So from the chiller, ito, ang tubig mo is coming from dito to 35 degrees or 95 degrees. From the condenser, may condenser. So mainit na to, mainit 'yon, 35. Papasok dito 'yan. The pump will pump here. Then susupply dito. Okay? So pag supply yan, so malalaglag dito, meron siyang tinatawag na pill. Yan, no, pill. May pill yan para doon malaglag hanggang mag-drop yung temperature niya. Then by the use also of the ito is tinatawag na force induced drop. So yung dito, meron siyang luber, may intake siya, ilalabas doon. Then paglaglag ng tubig niya dito, magda-drop na siya. So naging 29.5 degrees C. So ito naman, this is an open system to kasi dito bukas dito So make sure na yung mo is properly treated. So kapag kasi ang tubig is naka-expose and sa ambient, this will create yung ating algae. So maglulumot yan, maglulumot. So we need to provide a proper water treatment to avoid yung ating heat exchange sa ating condenser. So yan, this is a design of a cooling tower. So the basic design. So ano naman ang requirement dito? What are the requirement dito? Siyempre ito is also outside. We cannot put the cooling tower inside. It should be installed outside. And as same, it should be enough space from, let's say, there is a wall here. It should be enough space para yung intake air mo is sufficient. Kapag binak mo yan, so hindi siya magiging efficient yung inyong cooling tower. Of course, dito, kailangan freeze taas. Kasi yan, malaki ang evaporation dito. Once this, makikita mo pag nakakita yung cooling tower, there will be, rito, yung parang pag So yung evaporation dito, kasi yung parang kumukulong tubig tapos i-discharge dito. Next slide po, please. So ito naman, ito yung atin from the chiller, ito yung magpapalamig sa atin eh. So meron tayong tinatawag yung kanina, diniscuss ko, fan coil, but that is a direct expansion of the egg. So yun yung nagpapalamig doon is refrigerant. Dito naman, ang nagpapalamig dito is chilled water. So chilled water, and then ito, mag-aano yan dito. Mag-interpretain po ba ma'am ng question o later na?
Later na lang po, Natsek.
Okay. Sit tayo. So yan, dito, ano tayo? Ito may tinatawag tayo na ito is ano yan, yung concealed. Ducting concealed. So meaning, meron siyang ducting na ilalagay pa dyan para distribute ng air. Usually, ginagamit to, let's say, for example, sa office commercial. Para instead na centralized lang na isang air handling, bawat room, better to provide FCU. Then you provide the ducting and then properly distributed. Okay, so ito is yung medyo malaki to, and then this one can also be, because this one can be used as ducted and non-ducted. Na fan coil. So ito yung supply natin at saka return para sa ating chilled water. Then if you can see there are pipes dito. Ano to pipes na to? This is the condensate dito. So, di ba ang ano naman yan, nakita sa window, sa split, merong pumapaanong tubig. Yung condensate water. Kasi once yung chilled water nyo o yung cooling coil nyo, dumaan yung chilled water, nagbuga ng hangin, siyempre magko-condense siya. So, water will be sasaluhin dito. It will be going to the tray, yung condensate drain. Ito, yung tray. Then this one will be doing some piping to discharge to nearest drain to avoid yung ano. So, yan yung ating then again, installation nito will also be proper. So, meaning you cannot put this one lang directly dun the wall. So, you need space especially for the return. So, again, it will be required to have a sufficient space at the backside para mailagay mo yung return air mo. Kasi if this one will be having a ducting, if the ceiling point 600, let's say 800, you can use the ceiling point as a return ceiling plenum. So you don't need to provide a ducting for a return. So you put some stuff out, like connect there on the return air, then make some isang duct na maiksi. You don't need to make a distribution as compared to the supply air. So this is how the commercial and the office building are designed. So bawat room, better to have a FCU. Okay, and then ang corridor mo, you can put also the FCU. But in some cases, lahat ng common areas or corridor, they are providing the air handling units. Kasi kung mahabang masyado yung inyong corridor. Okay, then we will go later on, we will discuss later on the air handling units. I think the next slides will be the air handling. So this is the commercial and office building centralized air conditioning. So once you see it, centralized, the chilled water are centralized, the air ducting will be also centralized. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is the advantages of this unit, this fan coil? Easy to maintain, accessibility. Kasi nasa taas lang siya, you put some access. Normally, there are access for replacing there should be, or mandatory having the access for removing and cleaning the air filters. Okay, and also for the connection of the chilled water. There will be some bulb configuration there. And there will be a air vent. Sometimes the system, there is an air there, so you need to, so easy to maintain and easy to control. So kasi the control of this one, there will be a temperature sensor. And then in the chilled water piping on the return side, there will be a three-way valve. If the chilled water pump is variable speed, use the two-way valve. But if your pump is constant, you need to have the three-way valve. Para pag malamig na siya, yung three-way valve mo magbabypass na lang pag three-way. Pag two-way naman, pagka malamig na, ang pump mo, yung speed niya babagal. So yung flow doon sa coil mo is iliit siya. Okay? And reliable and simple. Disadvantages, limited options. And efficiency. Next slide, please. So this is the air handling chilled water. So as I discussed the pan coil is for small capacity. Air handling will be a bit bigger capacity. Ito is but there will be a section. Look, if you notice, there will be doors, access door. 1, 2, 3. So ito is what? There we have the filters, the air filters dito sa section na to. We have the pre-filters and final filter. The pre-filters is the bag filters and the filters, another type of filters. So this is the filter section. So this return air will be coming here, and then next will be what? So there is a chilled water here. So there will be a cooling coil. Cooling coil will be here. So ito yung ating cooling coil. So yan yung magpapalamig. And then after the cooling coil, ito yung cooling coil mo, so access dito sa cooling coil. Dito yung what? Blower section. But between dito, meron tayong eliminator. Okay? Meron siyang, para yung mag-separate yung, pag bumangga yung moist mo, babagsak lang doon sa drain. Okay? Drip eliminator. That's what we call drip eliminator. Then this will be a blower. A blower. Okay? So blower is here. So, dito yung section. Para pag maintenance mo, magpapalit ka ng filter, maglilinis ka ng filter, you have the door. So you can access. Then may problema yung cooling coil mo, meron something or need to clean it. Because cooling coil need also to clean. This once a year or semi-annually, so you need to clean this one. Kasi pag madumi na siya, yung efficiency ng system mo will be magre-reduce siya. Okay, so and then this is a blower. Kung blower mo, let's say, nasira ang bearing ng iyong blower, nasira yung inyong motor, sunog or any problem. So you need to go inside and access to this side. So the air, again, this one, the air handling unit should have the enough space inside the room kasi ito is installed inside the AHU room. So enough space, especially in the from floor to ceiling. Kasi pag nagkabit kayo ng duct dito sa supply, kapag wala kang buwelo, nandito na yung ceiling mo, paano mo pa ikakabit yung duct mo dito? Iangat doon at mag-elbow. Wala na. So I had the experience before when I was in Qatar. Yung ginawa doon sa, yung Qatar Equestrian Club. So yun, ang ginawa nung designer, nilagyan lang nila ng maliit na pagitan nito, tsaka ito. Sobrang hirap po dahil nagawa ko ng alternative to make it happen and work the system. But this is not, the efficiency is not as good as if meron kang enough space dito. Then elbow, then straight, and then elbow, then there will be enough space. The same way dito, sa inyong return, tsaka inyong fresh air. Kasi dito may fresh air ka, may return ka. So, hindi mo pwedeng takpan dito yan. So, dapat meron ka rin enough space dito para yung kung gusto mo man na mag-ducting dito or yung something na meron kang duduktong. So, may space ka para mag-take off pag gano'n ang elbow. Same thing dito, yung space din ulit. Okay? So, this is the air handling unit chilled water. So, again, also this one, the chilled water piping will be also doing the piping dito. May mga bulbs dyan. Configuration ng supply and return. Okay, so next slide, please. So, air advantage, flexibility, yan, modularity. Meaning ito yung pwede mo na orderin na by section. Let's say, katulad sinabi ko sa kanina, filter section or yung ating mixing box, then yung cooling coil section, and then yung ating blower section. So may flexibility ka. And pwedeng modular. And of course, quality construction. Kasi ito is double skin. So pwede mo i-request na yung panel niya is double skin. And then, disadvantages nito, space requirements talaga. You need to have that enough space for ducting, chilled water piping, and etc. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so for industrial building, so sometimes we are using the air conditioner, especially in the area of the office. Kasi meron tayong sa industrial. Normally in industrial, they are designing this one for, especially in the Philippines, as only ventilation. So, but this one in the office area, sometimes because this requires centralized also, they are using a package lang, package AC. So meaning ito is like a window type. Ang compare mo to sa window type. Lahat nandun na, pero magkakaroon ka lang ng, what is the difference? May ducting ka. Pwede mong i-ducted. Pero ang supply mo, tapos kaya ka ng distribution ng grills, diffusers, sa inyong rooms or sa inyong open office space. So pwede mong gamitin yan na ganoon. So this industrial kasi design, as I mentioned, required a ventilation. There will be a supply and there will be a fresh air in order to push the air exhausting outside. Next slide, please. Ito, one of my project, this is one of my project in Bicol. So yung Philip factory, may problem sila kasi they wanted to enter in the market of Europe and the US. And they find out by the client nila that yung production nila mainit. Mainit because there is no proper ventilation sa kanilang building. So what I did, I designed this one complete with ito yung FAU, they call this Fresh Air Handling Unit or FAU. So yung ito is yung malamig so sa inyong ventilation na fresh air, instead na natural air, malamig yun. Malamig yung papasok na supply. Then, yung distribution doon sa loob, i-exhaust nito. Lalabas dito. Then, meron tayong dito heat recovery. Heat recovery. What is the use of the heat recovery? The use of the heat recovery is to yung ano mo, instead na yung fresh air mo na papasok na pa ganyan is hot. Dito, yung fresh air mo is mainit. Dito is because of the return air, then dadaan dito, meron siyang heat wheel, may ikot na gano'n, magda-drop, let's say, ang temperature mo is 35. It could drop it up to 30 or 28 by the use of the heat recovery. So meaning, what is the use of the rate recovery? To reduce the energy. To reduce the energy. So what we'll do, so yan, fresh air mo, then supply, so malamig na. Sabihin natin, hindi na pinapawisan ang employee for the production kasi that is a food. So hindi ubra na yung nagagawa mo, pawis na pawis, may bimpo, tumutulo ang pawis, this is a food. This is a hygiene. So avoid that using that natural ventilation. It should be, kaya yan, as a consultant and contractor, nag-design and build ako nito. Next slide, please. So yan, sa offshore, oil and gas offshore and onshore. This one, same as package unit, but this one will be customized. Customized. Hindi as compared dun sa normal na kung ano yung bilhin mo, then once you order, commercial size. Pag sinabi ko, let's say, 20 tons, 25 tons, 50 tons, available siya without any alteration. Why? While in the oil and gas, this will be customized according to the requirement, because especially in the offshore, the space they will give you is very small as compared to the building. Whatever you requested, whatever space you need, they can provide to you. But the offshore, no. Whatever space they will give you, you have to do something. Okay, so that is the next slide, please. Blanco to man. Ito, so this one. This is the continuation of the above. This one will be the package unit. If you can see, this is a platform. In the oil and gas, this is a platform. Meaning, ito lang yung space niya. So they have let's say, the electrical room. So there will be switch gears, all panels will be inside. So you have to design it, the air condition, in order to cool this room. But the problem, ang space mo dito is very small. If you can see, ito yung package ko, I make sure that this will fit only to this area. Unlike sa whatever you can request space. Dito, whatever space available, you have to do something. And then the next floor of this one, there will be meron kang tinatawag na next deck, mezzanine deck, let's say first floor deck, something like this. Then doon hindi mo po pwede na yung vertical ang discharge ng condenser mo. So what we normally did, magkakaroon ako ng side. Dito sa side ko ilalagay yung condenser para ang discharge mo pa ganun. Papunta rito yung hangin. Hindi pa taas kasi wala kang space. And then you have to really customize the package unit in order to fit on this area. Imagine meron pa tayong purge pan dito. The purge pan will be going also here. There will be a ducting here. There will be another ducting here. So really, the space will be very So dito is also another consideration for this one. In the oil and gas, there will be a zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Try to avoid put this one in a zone 1 because actually this one will be already the explosion proof. Explosion proof to, stainless steel. Stainless steel to, hindi ito compared to the ordinary unit. Ito is you can put only the paint. This one will be stainless because this one is, imagine dito is sea. Dagat to lahat, dagat. This is dagat. This is sea. Okay, so what is the effect of the sea? Of there will be a salt. Okay, so yung hangin nun is padlakas mag-corrode. So, yan. So that's the reason why this one is very critical. especially in terms of space planning. Next slide, please. Ito, yung sa substation building. Sa substation building, ito, meron kang tinatawag dito na battery room. One of the critical in the substation, yung battery room. Why? The battery room is producing hydrogen. So it means type of pan here will be explosion proof. You cannot use this one as ordinary pan. Kasi once na nagkakarga kasi ang ating battery, there will be producing hydrogen. This one is explosive. Any spark can explode. So that's the reason why dito is we need to use the explosion proof exhaust fan. So, and then dito, ito naka-design lang to ng then ito meron siyang air handling. There are two air handling. You can see here, the enough space will be there. But dito, in oil and gas, if you can see, there are a lot of rito. Meron siyang SO2, meron siyang FC o HC, hydrocarbon. So meaning ito, kapag meron kang nagkaroon dito, for example, ng gas leak, nagkaroon ng gas leak. Pag nagkaroon ka ng gas leak, the air conditioning system, by the use of this one will be closed. Yung ating hydrocarbon, yung sulfur, yung ating mga detectors. Detectors here is not one as compared to the simple design of the air conditioning. Dito will be dalawa, tatlo, para make sure na kapag ka na-detect, mag-shutdown ng equipment mo, tsaka ito magko-close yung fresh air. Magko-close. Kasi meron tinatawag na emergency shutdown, meaning there will be a gas leak in the plant. So, ganyan yung simple air conditioning in the oil and gas. Next slide, please. Yan, dito, maintenance related to safety hazard. Now, fire protection, preventive maintenance. So, requirement for annual building inspection permit. So, we are doing, especially in the Laguna, in Pesa area, in the Laguna Technopark, we are doing a preventive maintenance system of the fire protection. Why? What we are doing here is to do the testing, especially in the fire pump. Fire pump makes sure that it will be functioning in case of fire automatically. Kasi there will be a manual and there is automatic. Once there is a flow, so meaning, let's say, for example, the sprinkler are there is fire on a certain area, then the sprinkler there will be a fusible link. Once it meet the temperature, let's say 70 degrees, na may sunog talaga. So mag-burst, puputok yung inyong yung fusible link. Then water will flow. Once nagkaroon ng flow, meaning the pump should start automatically. Because the pressure maintaining only by a jockey pump. A jockey pump are maintaining the pressure in the system. So, yung ating main pump, kasi this one is a very small. That is a 10% only of the size of the fire pump. Okay, so in many cases, there will be a motor pump, there will be a diesel fire pump, there will be a jockey pump. This why there are required also a diesel. Why? Because once nawala ng power in the kasi because of the fire, so there is still water flowing in the system by the use of the diesel fire pump. So yan, we are doing normally the PMS yearly, at least yearly they are requesting. Hindi yan one time lang. So then ito yung doon sa pump room. We are doing in the pump room. So we're making the test and then we are checking the system, whether it is, let's say, the control. Because here there will be a control panel. Of course, to control the pump, to start, to stop, to work automatically. So in this room, we are making a testing of pumps here in this area, and then as well as the piping. So next slide, please. So this is the one we are doing as well as part of the PMS. So yan, ano kami, yung magbubukas ng isang hydrant. So itong hydrant is titingnan namin, we have to check the pressure. Because we have the pressure requirement. So if we didn't meet that one, so there will be a problem on the pump or in the system. Maybe there is a pressure drop, or maybe they will do something. So we are doing a recommendation to meet the requirement in case required. So this one will be need to meet the required pressure. So ito yung ano, so we have to open the hydrant, then we put some nozzle. That's why see if you can see the pressure is yung discharge niya, yung flow niya is napakalayo, napakahaba. Kasi may nozzle yan dito. Then kukuha na ng pressure. So next slide please. Yan. So yung ito, kinukuha na namin ng pressure yan. Pero kaming instrument, ano namin dyan, and then yung makukuha yung pressure dyan. So makikita namin kung yung pressure niya is enough at o hindi. Once it's not enough, so we'll do some recommendations and do some according to once you do the report, it should be referring to the any NPA requirements. Hindi lagay mo lang doon it's less pressure. No, you should refer to any NPA that it is required that amount of pressure. So yan ang another continuation ng pagte-testing. Next slide please. So ito naman sa air conditioning. So yan, nag-conduct ng maintenance or maybe even installation. So yan. So we have to make sure ito yan, yung space dito, yung sinasabi ko. There should be enough space from the wall to the here. And then as well, yung pagitan nitong dalawa, kung meron kang unit sa ilalim, if they have the unit down, and then space is not enough, imagine mo, the hot air will be blowing also here. Okay? So make sure that the distance from here to here is enough. Okay? So meaning this could damage the other equipment and performance cannot meet. Maybe hindi siya lalamig because of this reason. Okay, so ito ganyan yung pag-maintenance. So yan normally ang maintenance niyan, nililinis ang condenser, okay? So chine-check ang pressure, kinukuha na amperahe yung sa panel para makita nyo kung yung performance pa ng compressor nyo, yung fans nyo is ayos. Okay, so next slide please. So yan, sa loob naman, sa indoor, ganyan. So nililinis mo naman dyan, filters, yung cooling coil niya, kung if ever required, kailangan tubigan para malinis. So ito yung indoor, ito yung yung asset type. So kailangan mo i-maintain yung blower mo, baka it's not working properly. So something like that. That is for the indoor. The other one is for the outdoor. Next slide, please. Ito naman sa mga ventilation yan. So this is the ventilation. If you can see, if you notice, there are some establishment, they are installing the blowers hanging without any support. That is very very hazard yun. So what we did is, if you can see, Nilagyan namin ng platform, and then there will be enough platform, properly designed, checked by structural engineer, and then make also the guard. Dito, we provide a guard. So dito is to also to treat the aesthetic of the building. We are providing that such kind of one. Okay, so yan, ganyan ang proper installation and proper kasi dito is to also safe for proper safety. Kasi pagka yan open dito, there could be a possibility of the accident of the maintenance. Okay, so this is how we are doing. So next slide please. So yan, nag-check yan, nung yun mga pans, the pans that I showed you a while ago, that is a control, this is a control panel. So, dito ini-stop yung pans. So, by the use of this control panel. So, you need to maintain also this one. So, anong proper maintenance? Pag sa electrical, okay? So, you may have to make sure before you touch any electrical, make sure that the power from the DB are disconnected para ma-make sure nyo na to avoid accident. Okay? So, and make sure dito sa nakaraang slides, meron doon na disconnect switch to make sure that while doing the maintenance, you have to close there, or you have to off the power, and while doing any maintenance. Next slide, please. So ito yung preventive maintenance. This is my one project, the PLDT. Okay, so yan, cleaning yan, you can see here, nililinis, they are cleaning the filters, cleaning the cooling coils nung inyong air handling units. This is a big, quite big air handling units. So ito, meron tayong pressure pump to clean. Okay, so yan, nililinis nila yung fan coil, tsaka yung filters, tsaka yung inyong cooling coils. So yan, you can see. Okay, next slide please. So ito yung centrifugal, maintenance ng mga centrifugal chiller. Part of my din yan. So meron siyang maintenance ng mga malalaki. Ito, malalaki, centrifugal tawag yan. Yung water cooled na pinakita ko. Nung una, ito yung water cooled chiller. Nakakonekto sa, ito yan. Meron siyang centrifugal. Ito parang pump to eh. Yan, meron siyang centrifugal. Ang laki ng suction yan. So dito yung suction, then dito yung discharge niya. So yan. So tapos papunta dito. So yan, may mga kanyang kalaki. So yan, anong ginagawa dyan? We have to make sure then, kung if ever na talaga madumi na yung mga, yung shell and tube niya, yung ating heat exchanger. So we have to clean it. So part of the maintenance. So check din yon yung operation, kung nag-automatic pa o hindi. So everything will be doing for the chillers. Next slide, please. Thank you. So that's all my presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Natsek Roy, for that very comprehensive presentation on heating, ventilating, and air conditioning units. Okay. Now, habang medyo humihinga ka pa, kasi parang hinihingal ka na yata, Sir Roy. Okay, this afternoon, na-discuss ni Engineer Roy ang mga iba-ibang air conditioning units when it comes to residential, commercial, industrial, factory, and even oil, offshore and onshore, in oil and gas, offshore and onshore. Now, we are trying here to understand kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga participants natin dito ay from the or mechanical engineers so that they could understand. So Roy, so simpleng sa bahay, let's say sa bahay lang, ano ba ang pinakasimple para ma ma-maintain natin at hindi magkaroon ng aksidente or source ng sunog ang isang air conditioning unit?
Good question, ma'am. Yan ang mga possible talaga. Ang number one dyan, window type, for example, the window type. You have to make sure yung power supply mo, you have to get the capacity, yung ilang kilowatt o ilang amperes, yung window, yung unit. Then, we have to make sure na yung power supply mo, yung socket mo, hindi yung ordinary. Kasi sometimes people are using ordinary. There will be a single, yung bibili mo yung single, yung mga at least 60, 20 amperes. Na pag sinaksak mo yan, safe na safe yun. Kasi ang chances, ang nakakatakot kasi kapag hindi tama yung size ng wire mo, size ng outlet mo, size ng breaker mo, yun ang chances. Mabuti ang breaker mo mag-trip, meaning safe. But if your breaker don't trip, alin ang susunog? Yung outlet mo. Then, susunog yung diretso dun sa unit. So yun yung mga number one na dapat binabantayan dyan.
So, ibig sabihin, Sir Roy,
Is it mostly electrical, hindi mechanical?
Yes. Oo. So, ang lesson natin dito is hindi lahat ay kaya siguro lahat na mag-install, pero may mga tao na alam kung paano mag-install ng isang air conditioning unit. At hindi natin pwedeng i-DIY yan. Hindi natin pwedeng do it yourself. So, meron talaga mga tao dyan. Now, let's go to commercial and industrial buildings. Syempre, mas malaki na to. So, ang pagkakaintindi ko as a mechanical engineer, bago tayo mag-install ng mga equipment sa ganitong mga klase ng buildings, there must be a proper design. Kasi kailangan alamin natin kung ilan ba yung susuplayan natin ng malamig na hangin, ilang oras yan na isusupply natin para ma-identify natin kung gaano kalaki o kadami ng mga air conditioning units ang ating gagamitin. So again, sabi ko ulit, hindi ulit ito DIY. So may mga mechanical engineers po na nakakaalam kung paano po mag-design ng ganito. And kagaya nga ni Engineer Rodolfo Alcoriza, may mga mechanical engineers na yan yung kanilang expertise. And ang pinakamagaling ng mga mechanical engineers sa air conditioning, HVAC, ay yung mga nagtrabaho sa Middle East. Kasi, Sir Roy, bakit kayo magagaling doon?
Kasi kailangan doon ng lamig eh. Sobrang init doon.
Yes. Kasi ang init sa Middle East. Yes. And alam nyo ba na mga galing na engineers na ay sa doon is mga Filipino mechanical engineers and other engineers kasi hindi lang naman mechanical engineers ang involved sa air conditioning. Okay. May question tayo dito. Okay. Sige, may question tayo dito. Sabi niya, sa small business, alin po ang mas efficient at mura sa kuryente? Inverter o hindi? Mukhang alam na natin kung anong sagot nito.
Sagutin ko na, ma'am?
Yes, oo, sige po.
Okay, as I mentioned, I think I explained already that the inverter is designed to save energy. Why? Because the inverter, when you meet the temperature inside the room, the compressor speed reduce. That's why they call it inverter. Nag-change siya. Once the RPM reduce, the power consumption also reduce. Okay, so let's say, for example, in one air conditioner in a room, you set first at 22 degrees. Once it meets the temperature inside, put it at 24. So meaning the 24, the compressor speed is not at full speed. It is already reduced. So meaning the temperature, the power consumption of this one reduced extremely because we're talking here is not only the kilowatt, we're talking kilowatt hour. So meaning the period or duration it is running and the compressor is not at full speed, how much energy you can save. So that's the reason, yun ang pinaka-best talaga. Kasi there are people perspective na ang inverter daw is better. No, this is theoretically and the actual experience inverter was designed to ensure that the power consumption will be reduced.
Thank you for that clarification, Engineer Roy. Okay, sa susunod na question. Okay. So, ito naman, do you have any suggested cooling tower treatment methodology which is low in cost but efficient or effective enough to remove algae or other skills?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the question. So yan, the reason why this is my based on my experience. Open system kasi, napakabilis mabuhay niyan. Kung isda, pagka yung sa mga any river or anywhere, pagka yan, hindi kasi tinitreat yan, ang lakas kumapal ng algae. So the reason why there will be a water treatment na ipinoprovide talaga to treat, meaning pagka tumaas na yung meron siyang meron tayong mga naka-automatic yan. Kung kinakailangan na mag-add ng chemical, mag-a-add siya para hindi tumaas yung ng algae mo. Meron siyang mga parameters na required para yung water conductivity mo is ma-measure. So pagka tumaas siya, so it will be automatic. So mag-i-inject yan. Mag-inject. Meron siyang na pang sa pump. May agitator yung chemical para haluin, tapos meron siyang dosing pump. The dosing pump will be injected. Pag ganun lang. Hindi siya yung parang pump ng normal. Yun is ini-inject.
Okay.
Pag ano ng water treatment. So, yun, yun, ang niyan, yung magiging cost effective yan. Yung kasing mo, kapag hindi mo tinitreat yan, ang maintenance mo magiging high kasi yung cooling coil mo magkakaroon ng algae. So pag nag-algae yun, mas mahal yung experience. Imagine mo, tatanggalin mo yung buong malaking system na yun para linisin. Pagka yan properly treated, no, you don't need to do that. So protected yung So yun ang aking question. Answer.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Roy.
Sorry.
May dagdag lang akong tanong, Engineer Roy. Ang cooling tower ba dapat steady or gumagalaw? May nakita kasi akong as in sumasayaw cooling tower.
The reason why na sumasayaw kasi ang laki nung niyan. Parang helicopter yung niya, yung pan.
Oo.
Kasi laki na helicopter yung pan. Kaya pag umandar yun, yung yung structure ng cooling tower mo, nagbabibrate.
Okay.
Sa laki ng pan. But this one is stationary yan. Stationary.
Stationary dapat.
No, stationary.
May konting may konting vibration.
Oh,
But
meron
not
siya.
so visible.
No naman, hindi. Kasi yun
Okay.
may mga naka-design naman properly dahil considering yung vibration, considering yung weight and everything.
Okay. Thank you, Engineer Roy. Okay, next. May isa pa yata tayo. Okay. Ito, any recommendation
Yes, please,
daw
no
to
problem.
improve? Yes. Any recommendation daw to improve ventilation to eliminate molds in bathroom with no windows?
Kailangan yan properly kasi sometimes people don't understand the concept of ventilation. You should understand the concept. Kasi yung iba, naglalagay lang ng exhaust, wala kang intake. Parang ganito yan yung bibig mo.
Wala namang lumalabas.
Ganun mo. Walang intake. Bukay mo yung bibig mo. So, ibig sabihin, may papasok ka, may lalabas ka. So ang ginagawa ng iba, total kitang exhaust, walang any intake. Dapat either may louvers ka or may anything na papasukan o kaya mag-undercut ka sa ilalim para yung may intake ka.
Para ma-exchange, air exchange.
Yes. Mas mabilis ang air exchange, ma'am.
Yes. Oo. Kasi kung hindi nga naman mapapalitan yung hangin, doon nagsisimula yung mga molds. So, ang sinasabi mo, Engineer Roy,
Nakabacuum
is...
ka. Kabacuum.
Yes, oo. Ang sinasabi mo, Engineer Roy, is kahit na maglalagay ka lang ng exhaust, kung wala naman siyang wala naman siyang huhugo. Ano
Papasok.
ba yun? Oo, wala nang pumasok na hangin para ilabas nung exhaust fan, then useless yung exhaust fan mo.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, yun. Okay? Meron pa ba tayong tanong? Ayan. Okay. Yung sizing po at saka proper maintenance po ng portable or household genset. Okay. Paano daw yung sizing?
Ganito lang yan, napakasimple. Ang generator, depende sa iyo kung anong gusto mong pag walang kuryente, gagamitin. Yun lang in logic na. Gusto mo, outlet lang. Gusto mo may air condition ba? Gusto mo may TV ba? So yun, calculate lang natin yun. Ilang kilowatt halimbawa ang TV, ang aircon for example, tapos ilang outlet yung gagamitin mo. So makukuha mo yun. Then kung ilang kilowatt, let's say pumalo siya ng 3 kilowatt or 3,000 watts, yun ang bibili mo size ng generator. So yung ganun lang yun. Ganun lang ang pag-size. No? Pero siyempre, nasa iyo, nasa choice mo kung ano ang gusto mong ikarga doon sa generator. Pero yun ang pinakasimpleng calculation. Kung alin yung calculate mo kung ilan ng TV,
Ref.
ilan ng ventilador mo, kung gusto mo lang may aircon, then enough yun. That's how you size that, yung ating genset.
Oo. Let's say, oo. Kasi gusto natin na ilan ang ref, bali dalawa. Let's say sabihin natin 2 ref. Kung medyo malaking bahay yan, ilan ang kilowatt rating nun. Nakalagay naman doon kung ilang kilowatt rating yon. Tapos i-add nyo yung sa aircon, ilang aircon yan. Kung let's say brown out, gusto nyo umandar lahat yung 4 na aircon. So itotal nyo kung ilang kilowatt yon. And then gusto nyo bang mag-washing machine pa habang may brown out? Siguro, hindi naman siguro, wag muna. Yung mga ganun. So, itotal nyo lahat yun, ilan ang kilowatts niyan, yun ang kailangan mo na size ng genset mo. Huwag masyadong bumili ng malaking genset kasi baka naman mas malaki yung investment mo pero hindi naman mo nagagamit lahat. So sayang lang. And 'di ba, we are advocate of power, yung hindi natin energy conservation.
Net zero.
So yes.
Net
So,
zero.
huwag natin sayangin
Net
ang
zero.
energy. Yes, huwag natin sayangin ang energy as much as possible ay kung hindi natin ginagamit ang mga equipment o di kaya mga appliances natin, tanggalin natin sa mga socket, saksakan. Okay? Meron pa ba? Okay, may humahabol pa. Okay. Ito pa, Sir Roy. In
Okay.
commercial establishments, what is the recommended regular PMS schedule for cooling tower units and AHUs?
Actually, okay, sagutin kita yung actual. Sa actual
Oo.
muna. Kasi there are two references eh. The first references, any equipment, meron siyang tinatawag na preventive maintenance schedule. Meron siyang, let's say, pag siyang preventive maintenance, meron siyang daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and then annually. But dito sa actual, dito sa cooling tower at saka sa air handling, at least once a year. At least once a year. Hindi natatagal doon. If you can, especially the air handling, if you can do it semi-annually, that would be better. Sa cooling tower, masyadong mahal yung pag gagawin yung semi-annually. Once a year for cooling tower is more than enough. Kasi ano yun, ang ano mo lang naman sa cooling tower, You have to check yung paggrasa ng mga ng inyong funds, yung inyong mga pills, yung inyong especially yung pinaka-base noon. So, kailangan at least annually. Sa air-ending is either semi-annually or annually.
Okay. I hope we were able to answer the question. Sige. Meron pa ba? Okay. So, I think, Engineer Roy, nasagot na natin lahat yung mga questions nila. May mga iba namang questions pero hindi muna related sa topic natin ngayon. So, hindi muna natin siya sasagutin na lang namin siya of this webinar. Okay, so sa mga nagpadala po ng mga tanong, salamat po sa interact ngayong hapon, and you may send your questions. Kung hindi naman siya related sa topic na natin ngayon, you can send us an email at us@bwc.dole.gov.ph or call our Dole hotline 1349. Again, please follow us at Dole BWC 1949 or Facebook, X, YouTube, and Viber to stay up to date with the latest announcements and activities from Dole and BWC. I-share nyo na rin ang video na ito sa inyong mga friends, family, and colleagues, at huwag kalimutang gamitin ang hashtag Webinar Wednesdays para mas marami pa tayong maging informed sa mga programa ng BWC, Dole, and kanilang mga attached agencies para sa kapakanan ng mga manggagawang Pilipino. So, in behalf of the Bureau of Working Conditions, maraming salamat po, Engineer Roy Alcoriza, representing the Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers for the topic, and some enlightenment when it comes to heating, ventilating, and air conditioning safety. Okay. So, again, from the Bureau of Working Conditions, this is Engineer Melanie Banayos. Maraming salamat po at see you sa ating next episodes. Marami pa tayo hanggang sa taong ito. And this is Engineer Melanie again, signing off. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Para sa mga katanungan at karagdagang impormasyon, maaari po tayong tumawag sa Dole Hotline 1349 o sumuli sa mga Dole Regional Field Office na nakakasakop sa inyong lugar paggawa.